Hello everybody and welcome back to X4, where we are basically done with our construction. We've only got one container storage left to build here, and all that needs is 14 Claytronics. Those are going to take a while to come in, but it'll happen. I'm not too concerned about getting this one container storage done immediately though, because I want to hop into our map here and just show this logical overview for a moment. And you can see here that we are currently producing 4 types of raw materials: silicon, energy cells, helium, and hydrogen. And of those, we are then producing 2 tier 2 resources? Trade goods? I'm not sure what exactly to call them. Silicon wafers, superfluid coolant, and antimatter cells. Someone's requesting backup? Is that one of our people? No. Okay. Good to know. And then we are also producing microchips over here, which is a tier 3 good. Now, we're going to be producing another tier 3 good today. Or, well, it's probably not going to finish today, but we'll get started on it today. And that is quantum tubes made out of superfluid coolant and antimatter cells, and I believe energy cells as well. But you can see that our storage here is going reasonably well. So we will just hop back out of here. Now, I was hoping that we'd have a little bit more money by the time I finished going over that. We'll hop into the manage funds over here and we'll just steal all of the money out of the station account. Excellent. Now that puts us at 2.5 million credits. We need 2.7 million credits to do what I want to do. So, we're going to have to wait a little while the Mercury Vanguard here does a little bit of trading that I've already pre-queued. We actually, with the Mercury Vanguard, managed to satisfy the microchip trade, the microchip demand over here. So, if we look at this, it looks like it has recovered at this point. That was about half an hour ago that we were starting to see some tremendous diminishing returns. Did I actually sell that? No, I did not. Okay, we'll confirm that. And while we're waiting for this money to come in, we'll just queue up a few more of these microchip trades. I mean, this isn't tremendously efficient income, and I understand that. But it is relatively quick and relatively convenient income. So we'll just continue hauling these microchips around. Something kind of like this. I want us to be making at least 2 million from these trades. That's about 1.6. Actually, that's 1.7. 1.8, 1.9 right here. Okay, this is well over 2 million. That's fine. Sounds good. Let's check in over here. There is another 65,000 in the station account. That's fine. You can see here that we're basically full on our solid storage. But our solid and our liquid storage are kind of transient, right? So if those are full, to some degree that's okay. As long as... Oh, they call them intermediate wares. Okay. Interesting. But so long as our container storage doesn't fill up, that's the big thing. But we may want to add some more solid and liquid capacity. And probably some container capacity as well. So I'm just going to pull a little bit out of here. That puts us up over 2.7 million. I'm not sure if it's enough, but we'll head over to the faction rep office and check. We might have to wait for one more trade to finish up. I mean, that won't take too long. I meant to go to the rep office. There we go. Well, that was a bit laggy.
It's good to see you, friend.
I would like to buy a blueprint. Specifically, quantum tubes is the one that we're here for. Yeah, so we need another about 60,000 credits. That's okay. We can still do this from here. I did just hear a trade finish. Aha. It's in the station account. Perfect.
It's good to see you, friend.
So now we can afford to pick up the quantum tube production.
Good luck out there.
There we go. Excellent. We'll head back to the ship.
I was asked to drop my cargo. Awaiting orders.
As usual, we want you to escape. In theory, we shouldn't have any issues with that. We have set the default behavior to them to escape, and they shouldn't get blown up with their level of upgrade. In theory. This is currently hauling antimatter cells. Okay. So we've got our blueprint, so let's plan our build over here for just a little bit. So we need to make quantum tubes. Now, if... apparently escape does not work that way. If we wanted to place this over this way, it could go over here or over here. Okay. We could potentially... I do need to look at the numbers. Let's check the encyclopedia. This takes... graphene. Which we don't have. I may have misremembered. X4 Claytronics production. Let's check the recipe here. So Claytronics takes antimatter cells directly. Okay. And quantum tubes. So we do need some graphene production. How much will it actually cost us? Because I don't want to be purchasing the graphene if I can help it. That will cut dramatically into our profits if we're purchasing the graphene from someone else. So let's see how much graphene production facilities cost. I think they're relatively cheap. But how cheap are we talking? Let's see, graphene. That's quite cheap. 200k? Yeah, I can work with that. So let's open up our map here. And we should be having some trades come in at some point. We don't have any funds in the station account right now, but that's okay. When is our Mercury Vanguard going to complete a trade? It's working on it. Actually, it's going to buy right now, rather than sell. And these... Actually, this guy's going to be selling their antimatter cells quite soon. So that might be fine to just wait for that. I doubt it's going to be 200k worth, though. Realistically. But you combine that with our other trades that we've got going on, and it might be good. We'll have to see. Of course, we are also selling some bits over here. Oh, did we finish our build? No, we did not. Okay. Fair enough. Now, one thing I would like to do is, if I can... The quantum tube production has to be facing upward. Apparently we can't rotate it downward. Or if we can, I don't know how. Okay, so if it has to be facing upward, we could maybe potentially slot it in just right there. So, the quantum tube production here is going to produce how many tubes? It produces 550 per hour, and the Claytronics require 400 per hour. Okay, so that is fine. We can have just the one quantum tube for right now. And let's see here. This is all liquid storage over here. That's fine. We may want to put in just a little bit more solid and liquid storage over here. So a liquid storage like here, and a liquid storage here, just to fill in this area a little bit. And then the solid storage, does this have to be vertical? Yes, it does. Okay, well the solid storage could just go in over here. Something like this. That would be plenty of solid storage. Like, that would be more than enough solid storage, I think. And we just slap on a little bit extra liquid storage. Kind of like this. And then the question is, do we need additional container storage? Maybe a little. Like, we could maybe put in some container storage, if I can get this oriented. Something like over here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Okay, we'll confirm these changes. This is going to be a while before we have enough money for that, but that's okay. So let's check in on the funding at the station. It's got 76k. I mean, fine. We'll pull that out. So we're at 91k right now. We need about 205k because we do need graphene. And for that graphene, what do we need to produce that? Methane. Okay. Do we know where any of that is? Got helium, hydrogen. There is some methane over here. Okay. We may want to have a third sunder for that. It does bear noting. That is something that we will definitely have to wait for. Our Mercury Vanguard is over here, and it is on its way to sell. It looks like it's going to sell up over there. Okay. So that'll be a little while before we have those microchip funds coming in. However, we do have these other Alpha Group sales coming in, so let's manage these funds. That's another 70k that we can pull out, which gives us enough for our graphene production. So I'd like to buy a blueprint, and that blueprint will be graphene production. This guy right here. Confirmed. Okay. So we need to go back to our ship. We're pretty much done here for a while, because it's going to take quite a lot of money to get the... Whoa. Hey, Argon Federation, maybe work on your doors a little bit. That's a health hazard right there. But as I was saying, it'll take a little while for us to gather the funds to make all of these changes. But we do definitely want to make sure that we have graphene production in our plan. So, graphene is what? Horizontal? Can we slot that in? Oh, it goes on top. Okay. I mean, we could slot it in up here. It's a possibility. Or what we could do is we could bring cross modules out here like this. I did not mean to rotate that. Just remove it and place it there. Is that enough space? No, we need one more. And this does build in a little bit more space for storage over here as well, which is quasi-convenient. So then we would put in the graphene production, like so. Excellent. So the graphene produces how much per hour? It produces 1,650 per hour, and the quantum tubes require 550 per hour. Or no, they require 116 per cycle, and there are 5 cycles per hour. Calculator time. Okay, so 116 times 5 is 580. 580 times 3 is 1740. So this can produce this can supply enough for 2 quantum tubes. Okay. The superfluid coolant is 30 per hour, or 30 per cycle, if I pull the calculator back up, and there are 5 cycles per hour, so that's 150. So the superfluid coolant production produces way more than 150 per hour. We are not in any sort of dire straits with the superfluid coolant. We may want to get a second quantum tube production, though. So if we were to do something like this and produce more quantum tubes, is that positioning legal? Yes. Okay. So yeah, we may want to do something kind of like that. That will allow us to produce nearly as much quantum tubes as our graphene will allow us. What else? And we're not concerned about our superfluid coolant or our energy cells, which are the other things that go into quantum tubes. Okay. So that'll optimize our quantum tube production for right now. We're going to have to look at the math eventually on the Claytronic production, of course, which is what we are working towards producing in this facility. We will have other facilities that produce other things, but for right now, we're working towards Claytronics.
Looks like you won't be going home. I am not scared of you.
So this is going to take 5.6 million credits. We'll just confirm those changes for right now.
Docking permission granted.
And I do think that we want to have another Sunder. Let's check our fundage here. Okay. We'll drain that for now. This is not enough money to create a Sunder, but I want to check to see how much a low-spec Sunder would cost. Although maybe we should check a high-spec. This would be 1.5 million credits. And a minimum preset is 250k credits. We can always upgrade it later. This is an interesting direction to come in from. Okay. So we just got some income there. Was that at the headquarters? No, that was us. That's fine. So that would mean that we could, at this point, afford a minimum spec Sunder. And I do believe we will. We'll go ahead and get that. How long until that's finished constructing? About 50 seconds. Sounds good. So the Claytronics that we produce here at this station is the only thing that we're going to produce at this station, right? So we're going to be branching out into other things, just for the record. I want to double check that we've still got that builder ship here. Yes, we do. That's perfect. Very happy to see that. Okay. So we need to get the Sunder assigned over ASAP, which is, of course, going to be about another 5 seconds. We'll just get that selected, and we'll just It's not quite operational yet. Now it is. So we will assign it to the beta group of the GE headquarters. Perfect. And that one will hopefully be able to provide the methane, which we currently don't need, so it'll probably, looking at the logical overview, it'll probably be assigned to hydrogen. Sounds good. So here we can see the graphene production from the energy cells and methane going into the quantum tubes. And then we'll be producing the quantum tubes and the microchips. And then as far as the Claytronics go, we already have the antimatter cells that we need. We already have the energy cells that we need. And those are the 4 things that go into Claytronics. So in total, we need about 15 million credits at this point to go into Claytronics production. Now that's a lot, to be clear. It is definitely going to take some time to get there. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put as much as we can into the station construction. Oh, hello. We just got a payment in the station account. We'll go ahead and drain that if we can. It wouldn't let me click on that for a moment there, but there we go. And we're just going to be pouring as much as we can for right now into our investment here, because I really want to get these constructions finished and get this production chain online. That'll be absolutely fantastic. The other thing that we could do is we could work on our research, but I'm going to hold off on that for right now. Because these goods are relatively expensive.
This will allow you to gain blueprints by
Yeah, I'm aware.
scanning modules.
It's relatively expensive, and it drains automatically out of the station account to do that. And we're kind of going to be utilizing the station account pretty heavily for the construction. Although let's hop in here real quick and see, do we have any parts coming in? Not currently. Okay. Well, we will soon enough. And with that, it's pretty much time to put a cut in here. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will be well on our way towards Claytronics production. I'm not sure that we're going to be all the way there yet, though, because that's quite a ways out. Until then, though, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.